A Sydney mum has won a landmark fair work battle, allowing her to start later and continue to work from home so she can drop her children to school after her employer tried to force her back into the office. Joining us this afternoon on The Debrief is Madeline Larson from Triple M in Brisbane and Jonathan Edwards from 7 News in Adelaide. Good afternoon to both of you. Reading this article, John, it was interesting to note that this woman alleged that she had instructions and an agreement in place, but that then changed when her workplace was bought over by an overseas software company. Do you think this may set a precedent?
Well, it's really tough, and I think this is what we've seen post-COVID, is a lot of these battles for working from home. I think before COVID, working from home was this distant dream that a lot of us didn't even know about, but now it's become a part of everyday life, and it really is a battle for both business owners and workers to try and come to a compromise. And I think, as you see with this issue, there's no one rule fits all, and really it does create a bit of issue in the workplace. If one person's getting one set of treatment and another's getting another, then someone leaves or a business is taken over. It's really tough. So look, it might lead to consistent rules needing to be set down by the government, but again, is that a good idea? Is it too much overarching from the government? It's a hard one to pick on.
Absolutely. Maddie, it's also interesting to note that surely it's an argument again about productivity. If you're reaching your targets and you're doing the work and it's all about balance and you're achieving the results, why shouldn't you have flexible options?
Definitely, and I think that's something the federal government has been speaking about in recent years when it comes to getting more women in the workforce. So it has been encouraging flexible work arrangements like this because it's not possible to live a comfortable Aussie life without a double income. And when you have kids, trying to drop them off when your hours are 9 to 5 don't really work. So I am all for this. I think it's a good thing that she won over this company. And I also think it's not just about COVID and the pandemic work from home arrangements, because with the cost of living crisis, if you're putting kids through school and both you and your partner work, I don't know how else you would do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the associated costs you save with transport and petrol and tolls can really add up with some type of flexible arrangement. Moving on this afternoon, this is interesting. 1 in 4 doctors say it could one day be possible to preserve human bodies after death and eventually bring them back to life through future advances in science. Good or bad idea, Jono?
I think this is a fantastic idea. We've all lost loved ones through really horrific diseases, or, you know, the end of life can be a really traumatic experience for a lot of people. Why don't we look at this as a positive and really hope that one day when we see younger people getting unwell and sick, that we could freeze their bodies and bring them back to life. I guess it's a really scary part for all involved because who knows what they're going to wake up to. I wish we could go back in time personally, but, you know, that's a different story.
Yeah, it is indeed. Maddie, how does this sit with you?
All I can think about is Austin Powers trying to preserve himself. But on a serious note, I think this is something that's important for doctors to talk about. From my understanding, at this stage, anywhere in the world, it's not legal to preserve a body pre-cardiac arrest to bring them back to life. But in the future, this could be something that they have to think about. So might as well think about it now. Yeah,
future is scary in some circumstances. And we love a Friday feel-good story. Love this story. An initiative by Anglicare has seen 3 grandmothers with more than 200 years of life experience between them man a granny stand outside Town Hall in Sydney to offer life advice to young people, mostly about relationships and the secret to a long life and happiness. Jono, I think this is a fabulous idea.
Yeah, it certainly is, Tash. I think what else do the young people need? The people that have lived a real hard life through wars, through real experiences, not just social media and the common, I guess, issues that we have here today. The best advice I got from my grandfather was 2 things. Is you got to be a good boy, which, you know, it makes sense, and you can carry an injury, which means you just don't give up. And I think, you know, I try and use that wherever I can.
That's great advice. The older generation have the best life advice because they've lived through experience. Maddie, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, these 3 grannies between them, they have 227 years of life experience between them. And when you think about it, all of us have only lived this life once. So the elderly, when you speak to them, they've probably already lived through the moment that you're going through right now and you need the advice from. I'm just sad that I'm in Brisbane and I can't go and visit these 2 ladies that have set up that booth in Sydney. Because one of my favourite things to do, even when I was 19 at uni, was to visit my late grandmother at the nursing home pretty much every every time I had a lecture, and it was just to hear her life stories and how much experience she had, and also just other people within the nursing home. I think it's a really good way to realise that the things that we find important and materialistic things at a young age don't mean anything at all once you get to that late stage in your life.
100%. Often they just advise us to look after our loved ones and focus on health and happiness and family as well. Guys, thanks so much. Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks, Tash.
Thank you.